Alright, so Jeff's over here today, guys, to have me help him install his scope. So we just removed the 4 base screws that come with the rifle. We're about to install the bases. Takes a little bit of time, but it's well worth the effort to go slow and make sure that you've got it done correctly and everything's nice and tight. And then we can So I'm putting just a tiny bit of blue Loctite on each of the screws to ensure that it's solidly mounted. Now we're just snugging down the bases.
I think someone wants your attention.
Daddy! Okay, this is always the bugger getting this 90 degree in. So we're gonna get the bottom half of the wing in.
Loophole.
I just prefer steel rings, which is what these are. This is always a good time. So, do you want the L facing? I think facing like this, right? See the L on the top?
Oh, does it matter?
No, it doesn't.
Which do you prefer?
I would put the L like that.
Okay.
So you can read L, rather than...
Yes.
So we want it like that. So now what I want you to do, this is, well, why don't we turn this on just for
it's on.
Okay. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to use this bar to turn this ring 90 degrees into the base. So stand by. So I'll get you to hold the rifle, Jeff. Just you can reach over and just hold it from where you are. Well, it's probably better for you to. I sort of want you to brace it however you can.
Does this chair fit you?
And then I just gently want to turn this in. It's going okay. Hold it. I just want to try and get this as square as I... It's got to go a bit more. Doesn't look bad there. What do you think?
Yep.
Wow.
Looks square. If it doesn't, we can tweak it a bit. So now what's key with the rear base is that because this and this have to be evenly tightened onto that so that it's not to one side or the other. Because you can imagine if it's off by a turn or two, the scope is actually canted a little bit, right?
Yeah, so I bought this rifle on clearance. It was just too good an offer to pass up.
What's funny about that is we walked into sale. I had no inkling or an idea that Jeffrey was looking for another rifle. He spied this on the shelf with a clearance sticker on it, noting that it was left-handed, and asked, what caliber is it? And the clerk piped up that it was 300 Winchester short mag. And I said, that's my favorite short mag. And Jeff just quipped, I'll take it. I was rather taken aback, to be honest. I didn't expect it.
How often am I going to find a Tika T3 300 short mag left hand on clearance?
Not often. Hi, baby girl. Oh, is that a hug for Dada? Thank you. Okay, don't touch, okay? No touching. Good girl. Okay, so I'm just going to tighten this down so that we can actually...
Yes, it's all
when we're done here, can I borrow him?
Oh, you're gonna go for a run? Yeah. Well, you can. Yeah. Okay. So now here's the meticulous part. I'm gonna keep track of how many turns I do. Hi, baby girl. Oh.
That's okay. We'll just check to see.
That's 1.5. I'm gonna go do the other side 1.5.
Yes, it is. It's all yours, but we bought it for you.
Half. Whoopies. Are you stuck to my leg, young lady?
Yes,
Oh dear.
going off.
Oh, are you upside down? You're upside down? Okay, you go with Mama.
She discovered she had a rocking chair.
Rocking chair.
Yes, Nos. Patience, Nos. This will be dark by the time I get out, so I want you along as the muscle.
Yeah, so that wasn't quite enough. So I'm gonna go a whole one. Hi. You silly. Okay, Daddy's got to work, okay, baby girl? Can you go out with Mama? No touching, please. I got to keep going from side to side so that I...
You want me to close the door, hon?
No, I just...
Nos.
You want to do the wrapping paper stuff?
Hi, baby girl.
Yes, Nos.
Okay, we're getting close. I got to do the other side one.
Yes.
See, I think there's a lot of guys that put this on very quickly. And as a result, they go to the range and there's not enough adjustment in their scope.
Where are you going, cutie?
Okay, that's pretty darn close. See that? So now let's go a half or maybe even a quarter. Oh, I'm going to go a quarter. Because I don't want it to be to the right or the left.
Nice, sweetheart.
Okay, no touching, baby girl.
Rose? Can you stay over here with Mommy? Look at all the stuffed animals. Little stuffed toys.
Oh, you are getting
Mommy's a cute little girl.
pretty. Okay, I need you to hold the rifle. Because we're almost evenly tight. Hold it.
Hi. You have your hair covering your eyes.
And then on the other side and hold it.
That's for camping. Maybe this summer Daddy will bring you camping with you.
Hold it. Pretty damn tight.
Mommy's a dad, not Uncle Dad.
So one of the tests is to take this off and then lay your scope in and see if it hi baby girl. Nos. No touching, baby girl, okay? Did you jump? So we'll just take that out and see if it lays right in. If it lays right in, that means that this is square and we don't have any issues. Then we got to set it for your eye. Then we'll level everything and start tightening.
Mini disc.
Oh, cool. That's a nice scope you bought. Whoa. I don't think you want the model number on it, do you? And the price tag. Here, stick this on the inside. Oh, bastards. Please tell me that this comes off cleanly. I hate stickers that are that stick to things and leave
User handbook.
There we go. And then there we go. So this should just fit in here nicely. And it does. So, is that still recording?
Yes, should be.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is pick the rifle up. We're actually going to set it either further forward or back. There's some adjustment because the eye relief should be about 3.5 inches on this Zeiss. And once we know that, then we can come back here and level everything and start tightening down the top rings.
Yes, it's a Zeiss Terra
Yeah. This might be the exact scope we have on our Coopers. I'd have to check, but okay. So let's go now. Now just be careful because there's nothing holding the scope, and what we're looking to do is just figure out where your eye relief. So now we know where your rifle scope should sit. Now we can get serious about leveling everything off, getting the rifle set. And I just take note of where it is. I'm gonna put this down. And we actually cinch the rifle down so that it doesn't move when we're tightening down the screws. And then I do everything I can to get the rifle nice and level. See that, Jeff?
Yes.
So this level tells me that the rifle is now level, and I compare with the back. So it's level. Before we started the video, I actually had, without the rings and bases on, put this on the rifle and adjusted this so that the rifle is actually level in this plane as well. So now we know that the rifle is level. Or we're fairly certain that the rifle is level. Have a look there, Mr. Whale. I think that bubble is level.
Yes, I think so.
You'd agree? Okay. So now what we're going to do is take the other half of the rings, put a tiny bit of Loctite on the threads, carefully place them. And I try to make sure that the gap is the same on both sides of the ring. And then we tighten it down very slowly, turning each screw evenly the same amount so that we don't end up with the scope being canted off. And we watch the bubble as we do it. Whoop, that was a tiny bit too much. Loctite. Quick remedy. This is always the part that takes the time. And you try to be very, very gentle when you're doing this. You're not putting any downward pressure because you don't want to move. You don't want to move the rifle scope around, because in the end, you want to look through the rifle scope, and you want to feel as though, or it looks as though the reticle is perfectly vertical and perfectly horizontal, the crosshairs.
We've had a lot of marshmallows today, sweetheart. Freaking out's not gonna help.
Somebody's going to have an argument for a marshmallow out there in our... Ah, you bugger.
You have a
Dear.
down here.
Moved more than I wanted.
Why? You got your Crocs on? Good idea.
What happened was when I started tightening this down, it moved, so I just unscrewed it and start again. So what I've done is taken down the one ring, and it's just hand tight. We haven't actually cinched it down, but if you look at the bubble,
Yep.
dead center. So now I can carefully tighten down this back ring, and it shouldn't move. My fingers are crossed. So I'm really happy with how this bubble is sitting now that we've just hand tightened it. So now what I'm going to do is carefully go to each screw and turn it about a quarter to a half a turn just to finish tightening it down, and sort of in a pattern, so that even if it moves a little bit, it'll be turned back the other side by evenly tightening it down. Oh, I should go across, sorry. And this takes a minute, but I think the end result is a rifle that you can be confident the crosshairs are top dead center. And the end result should be, you gotta press that. A rifle that when you look through the scope ring, the crosshair should appear to be completely level, just looks right. Does it look right?
Yep.
Let me have a look. Yep. I'm happy with that.
So we'll just finish now with Jason's help getting the scope mounted. The next thing will be the sling, and then we take it to the range and try out some of the factory loads we bought to see if we can get a decent grouping. And I hope then to take it into action next deer season when we're out. See what fortune brings.
Yeah, and when we were looking for which scope to put on, I'm kind of a fan of the Elite series from Bushnell. But anyways, I also have a Zeiss on one of my other rifles, and Jeff spied the Zeiss, and I said that is a better piece of glass. So Jeff went with the Zeiss, and then of course used loopholed steel bases and rings, so that scope is securely mounted now. And as you guys saw in the video, we use a small bubble level to level both the rifle, the rings once they're on, and then the scope. So when you put the rifle to your shoulder and have a look, it just looks right. The scope through the ring, or through the scope, you can see the reticle is both vertical and horizontal crosshairs look good.
So I hope I can take a deer with it next season, but we'll see. So until then, I'm Jeffrey.
I'm Jay.
And till next time.